Fiberglass. That's what's between you and 1,000 enemy soldiers. Not steel, not armor plating. Fiberglass. The same stuff they make swimming pools out of. One RPG hit, and you're swimming, or you're dead. October 31st, 1966. The Myeong-bilta, bosun's mate, First Class James Elliott Williams, is cruising down the river on what the Navy calls a relax and recreation patrol, checking sampans, enforcing curfews. Easy day. Then he sees two motorized sampans hauling ass across the river. He chases them into a narrow canal, and that's when he looks up and sees boats, hundreds of boats, and people, 1,000 people, all of them pointing guns at him. Williams has two choices: reverse out of the canal and probably die, or punch straight through and maybe live. He picks option 2. What happens next is the most decorated enlisted action in U.S. Navy history. A 3-hour gun battle where 8 American sailors in 2 fiberglass boats drove into the center of an NVA regiment and destroyed it. No SEALs, no rescue mission, no backup. Just Willie Williams and his crew deciding that the best way out of hell was straight through the middle. Before we get to the battle, you need to understand the commander. James Elliott Williams was born in 1930 in Fort Mill, South Carolina. Cherokee heritage, quiet, observant, the kind of guy who says 5 words when everyone else says 50. At 16 years old, Williams walked into a county clerk's office and convinced them to alter his birth certificate so he could enlist in the Navy. This is 1947. The war is over, but Williams doesn't care. He wants in. Fast forward to Korea. Williams is on the destroyer USS Douglas H. Fox running small boat raids into North Korean coastal waters. He's learning hydrography, sound discipline, how to navigate hostile shores at night, how to kill people up close when stealth fails. By 1966, Williams is a BZN's mate First Class BM-1, senior enlisted. The younger sailors call him the Old Man or Willie. He's 35, which in Vietnam makes him ancient. Most of his crew are 19, 20 years old. Williams has a saying. He maintains the sharpest damn knife and the shiniest shoes in the Navy. Not because he's a peacetime showboat, because he believes discipline in dress translates to discipline under fire. He doesn't fit the Hollywood warrior archetype. He's not reckless. A rear admiral who commanded Williams said it best. Willie did not seek awards. He never placed his crew in danger without first ensuring the risk was calculated and that surprise was on his side. Calculated risk. That's the key phrase. Because what Williams does on October 31st looks insane, but it's not. It's math. The platform Williams is commanding is called a patrol boat river. PBR, the Brownwater Navy's workhorse. It's 31 feet long, fiberglass full, draws 2 feet of water when it's on plane, which means it can navigate the shallow weed-choked canals where bigger boats get stuck. Propulsion. Jacuzzi Brothers 14 YJ water jets powered by twin Detroit diesel engines. No propellers. The water jets can reverse thrust instantly, allowing the PBR to stop within its own length or spin 180 degrees without losing speed. This maneuverability is Williams' only defense against RPGs. The downside, those Detroit diesels are loud as hell. You can hear a PBR coming from a mile away. Stealth is not an option. Armament is where things get interesting. For a boat this small, the PBR is absurdly armed. Twin M2 Browning 50 caliber machine guns in a rotating turret up front. This is the primary weapon, the gun that does the killing. Single 50 com mounted aft for rear security. M60 machine guns amid ship's port and starboard for suppressing infantry on the riverbanks. 18 Malawian Quachas 40mm grenade launcher hand cranked for dropping explosives behind BMS and into sandpans. Here's what you need to understand about the Mod Deuce, the 50 caliber. It fires a 12.7 by 99mm round. Effective range 1,800 m. It was designed in World War I to punch through aircraft and light armor against wooden sampans and bamboo bunkers. It's a delete button. Protection. There's ceramic armor around the gun tubs, and the coxswain's flat. It'll stop AK-47 rounds. It will not stop an RPG. The crew hangs flak jackets and sandbags around critical areas. But let's be honest, if you take a direct hit from a B-40 rocket, you're done. The PBR is a glass cannon. High firepower, zero survivability. You live by going fast and shooting first. October 31st, 1966. approximately 1,600 hours. Williams is patrolling with two boats, PBR-105, his boat, and PBR-107, commanded by Signalman Second Ass Thomas Poling. Standard patrol, routine interdiction, the kind of mission you do 100 times and nothing happens. Then Williams spots two motorized sampans crossing the Myeong from north to south. Motorized sampans are different from the hand-rowed fishing boats. They mean high-value targets, officers, heavy weapons, urgent communications. Williams orders the intercept. As the PBRs close the distance, the sampans open fire with rifles. Seaman Reuben Binder, Williams' forward gunner, returns fire with the twin 50 calories. The lead sampan realizes it's outgunned, flips around, and hauls ass into a narrow canal on No Heap Island. Williams has a decision to make. Standard procedure, break contact, call for support, let the big guns handle it. But Williams isn't standard. He orders the pursuit. Both PBRs enter the canal, and that's when the trap springs. The canal opens into a staging area. Williams looks up and sees junks, sampans, hundreds of them, and people everywhere. He later described it like this: "I looked up and didn't see nothing but boats and people and more boats and more people." What Williams has stumbled into is the crossing point for the 261st and 263rd Viet Cong battalions reinforced by NVA regulars. Intelligence estimated roughly a,000 troops on the north bank with a security element of 200 to 900 on the south bank. The enemy opens fire. Heavy machine guns, recoilless rifles, RPGs, point-blank range. Williams is hit. Shrapnel or a bullet to the side. Kidney area, bleeding, doesn't matter. He stays at the controls. Now, here's where Williams makes the call that defines the battle. Reversing out of the canal means exposing the stern, the engines, the unarmored rear. The enemy gunners on the banks will shred them. Statistically, retreating gets you killed. So, Williams orders full throttle forward directly into the enemy formation. The maneuver is later called the beehive. Charging straight through the swarm. The PBRs zigzag through the massive boats at 28 knots. Williams and Poling working their throttles like fighter pilots. The twin 50 calories up front are hammering. Reuben Binder is walking fire across wooden holes, and they're exploding, sinking, capsizing. The chaos works in Williams' favor. The enemy gunners on the riverbanks can't fire freely without hitting their own boots. It's a knife fight in a phone booth, and the guy with the biggest knife wins. Williams punches through. Both boats make it out the other side, but the battle isn't over. Williams pulls his boats to a position of relative safety and radios for air support. Minutes later, the Seawolves arrive. Helicopter attacks Squadron 3, H-3, UH-1B Huey gunships loaded with rockets and miniguns. But there's a problem. It's dusk. Darkness is settling over the delta. The enemy is dispersing, hiding the boats under jungle canopy. The helicopters can't acquire targets. Williams makes another calculated gamble. He orders PBR-105 and 107 to turn on their searchlights. This is suicide. Searchlights make you a beacon for every gunner on the riverbank. You're illuminated, exposed, a target, but it works. The searchlights cut through the darkness, painting the enemy junks and sampans. Williams directs the Seawolves' rocket runs onto the illuminated targets while his own gunners maintain suppressive fire. The battle rages for 3 hours. Williams rotates his boats, shielding damaged sections, keeping his guns in the fight. Binder's hands are blistered from the twin 50s. The barrels are glowing. The ammunition cans are emptying. By the time the enemy breaks contact, the math is this: 65 enemy vessels destroyed. 16 confirmed enemy Kia. Likely many more died in sinkings or were dragged into the water by the current. Over 000 pounds of rice and supplies were captured or destroyed. 0 American fatalities. Williams is wounded but refuses medical evacuation until the mission concludes. PBR-105 and 107 are shot to hell. Bullet holes everywhere, but both boats return to base under their own power. The NVA regiment's river crossing completely disrupted. The operation they'd been planning for weeks dead in the water. Williams is the name everyone remembers. But he didn't fight alone. Seaman Reuben Binder, 21 years old, Jewish kid from Brooklyn. His mother was a Holocaust survivor who wore long sleeves to hide her concentration camp tattoos. Binder manned the twin 50 calories turret, the primary offensive weapon. He initiated the engagement when the Samans opened fire, and he kept those guns running through the entire 3-hour battle. Williams respected Binder, selected him for his crew because Binder maintained the sharpest damn knife and the shiniest shoes in the Navy, same standard Williams held himself to. Binder received the Silver Star for October 31st. He also got the Navy and Marine Corps Medal for the Jamaica Bay rescue. He came home with severe PTSD and passed away in 2004. Engine man fireman John Clem Alderson kept the Detroit diesels running while the boat performed high-stress combat maneuvers. Silverstar seaman Harry Stump. Silverstar on PBR 107. Signalman Second Ass Thomas Poling showed exceptional discipline by following his lead boat into the ambush instead of peeling off. He could have retreated. He didn't. Silverstar. The entire patrol was decorated Bronze Stars with Combat v Navy Combination medals. These weren't participants. They were warriors. May 14, 1968. The Pentagon's Hall of Heroes. President Lyndon Johnson presents James Elliott Williams with the Medal of Honor. The citation reads, "Conspicuous gallantry and exemplary fighting spirit." Williams retired from the Navy on April 26, 1967 after 20 years of service. He is the most decorated enlisted sailor in U.S. Navy history. His rank, Medal of Honor, Navy Cross, 2 Silver Stars, Legion of Merit with Combat V, 3 Purple Hearts, Navy and Marine Corps Medal. After the Navy, Williams served as a U.S. Marshal in South Carolina. He passed away on October 13, 1999. In 2004, the Navy commissioned the USS James E. Williams DDG-95, an Arleigh Burke-class destroyer. The ship's crest features a PBR and a dragon, Riverine Warrior. The headquarters of Special Boat Unit 20 at Little Creek Naval Amphibious Base is named the BM-1 James E. Williams Building. But here's what you need to remember. Williams didn't win because he was superhuman. He won because he was disciplined. He believed that the first step to surviving a war was having the shiniest shoes in the Navy. That attention to detail, that refusal to let standards slip, translated into split-second decisions under fire. When he saw that regiment, he didn't panic. He calculated. Retreating meant death. Advancing meant chaos. And in chaos, the disciplined side wins. 8 sailors, 2 fiberglass boats, 1,000 enemy troops. The math said they should have died. Williams changed the equation.